So for this video, we're going to be taking a look at kind of a silly deck that I've been playing on the ladder as of late. This is an aggressive Crusader deck, and I'm sure you're used to seeing those, but it's running the Dwemer package. So one of the things that's really interesting about Halls of the Dwemer is that if you have a reasonable amount of Dwemer on the board, when it comes down, it can just close out games on its own. And Crusader has a decent amount of card draw to help you hunt for Halls of the Dwemer, so this is just something I've been playing for fun, and I wanted to share it with you. And now that deck codes are a thing, this is going to be the first video in a series where I'm just going to play decks I've been playing lately, but in the video description I'm actually going to post the deck code so that if you want to try it, you can actually import it. So this is the deck, and it's going to follow the same format as far as like the video goes as I traditionally do with the deck testing videos, meaning I'm going to play 2 games, win or lose, and you guys will get to see the outcome and then decide, hey, do I want to try this deck? You know, even if it loses, maybe it looks fun. Maybe you want to start with this as like a skeleton or a baseline, and then you want to improve upon it. Lots of different ways that this can go, but we are hopping into game 1. This looks reasonable for an opening hand. I mean, we could consider throwing back the gear work here because we're going to open with these 2, and this also has prophecy, so actually I think that we're going to do that. And that looks better. Okay. We're gonna, so we could be greedy with that mud crab and wait for a post 5th Legion trainer play, since we don't have a 3-drop.
Talking mud crab,
but we're not going to.
Read my lips.
I think we're going to take the Umbra here, just because it provides reach. And obviously we don't have anything that's going to help us with the Gloom Wraith trigger. Problem is they might, being that they are in Redoran. And we don't know what kind yet, but I assume it's going to be either an aggressive or a token variant.
Did I stutter or something?
Well, we have nothing to contest this, and that's really problematic for us at the moment. So I guess we're going to try to transition to the Shadow. It's a rough spot to be in. The second 5th Legion trainer was a little bit rough. Ideally, we'd like to top deck something like Mechanical Ally so that we could play 2 creatures, get a trigger.
I only need one
oof.
Attack.
They really didn't like our 5th Legion trainer, did they? And we sadly did not get our wish. We're going to peel that off just because that requires them to still play 2 creatures to activate the catapult.
I'll whip them into shape.
But yeah, Mechanical Ally would have been nice, and then into turn 4 you'd have your option of 2nd, 5th Legion, and Automaton or Hive Defender. This next turn we're probably going to end up playing this Hive Defender, and then hoping again we find a 2 or a 3-drop to pair with this on 5, and then roll into Halls on 6, and that generates a lot of pressure. That's the idea anyway. The idea with most of these aggressive Dwemer decks is you kind of just go wide and flood the board. You're trying to find Mechanical Ally and Steam Constructor are big ones. And then when this comes down, you get a really big swing in your favor. So, yeah, there's the Gloom Wraith that we gave him. That feels not great.
Did I stutter or something?
You can't defeat me. I'll see you dead.
So, Hive Defender has a chance to trade with this, because this will be a 4/6. So it's likely going to eat 1 attack from that, and then probably just eat the Sharpshooter at that point. But it would slow him down. So we have to decide if we are thinking that we're capable of racing this, and I think the answer is no right now. If we had a different board state, I would consider trying to race. More developed threats, but everything that's not the Hive Defender only attacks for 1, and even if we do get an amazing draw this next turn, and there's no guarantee that we do, but even if we do find a Constructor or Mechanical Ally or something,
Nords must take back Skyrim.
it would not have been good for us. Wow, that's really not great for us.
They missed
Yep. They take the trade. A little curious about that because this has Breakthrough, but maybe they're just not used to playing with this card, so they missed it. This is nice for slowing them down and trying to get our hauls going.
I'll clear a path. I'll see you dead. You can't defeat me.
All right, well. Again, do we think that we can race them? When Halls comes down, we do get a guard. Following turn, we'll have potentially this plus Umbra. Do we think we can race them? It's a legitimate question. I think we're gonna try. I'm not convinced this is correct, but I think we're gonna try.
Chimeric spirit of the sky, guide us!
I'll clear a path.
This is actually our biggest threat in terms of being able to race. Three, yeah. So now they've pretty effectively taken away our game plan with the hulls, because now we have to survive. Got a couple of guards that we could drop. Or we could just risk it with one guard and play the dynamo. I'm not sure that's necessary, because this is +6 effectively. But if I thought one guard was enough before, and I was wrong, yeah, I don't think that we win this.
You fight like a child. You fight like a child.
I mean, we have to push. All right, we definitely don't win this. Fair enough. So the play mistake was just not contesting this. When this came over here, I probably should have shackled and placed something. But now they get to just chew through whatever they want of ours. Which is unfortunate. Even with the hulls, we didn't have enough coming back the next turn anyway. We only had 14. Just too far behind.
Honor and blood.
Catapult is very strong, and it was a thorn in our side for a lot of this game. It only needs 1 damage.
They missed their shot.
Have to assume they've got 1 damage. There it is. Way more than 1 damage.
I'll clear a path.
Alright. So that's a pretty unfortunate showing, but that's 100% my misplay. So we're going to go ahead and take the deck for another spin here. And hopefully show off what it's supposed to do. Our biggest issue there was, one, I made a play mistake and I didn't contest, but also we didn't draw the better half of our opening threats. 5th Legion Trainer is good, but you typically want to pair it with the Steam Constructors, with the Mechanical Allies. We didn't see any of those. Playing 5th Legion Trainer against an aggressive deck instead of And there it is again. Instead of things like your constructors, your rift thanes, honestly, like even crocodile, yeah, see, that's a much better opener for us. Let's see if we can show them who's boss. We're gonna open with the rift thane, so that opens up a ring play into these two the following turn.
You can trust me.
Death to the enemy.
I'll whip them into shape.
5th Legion is great because that'll hopefully make... Ooh. Ooh. Do I want to give him potential card draw? No, I take this. I want to deny his ability to nuke my guys. And unless he plays this right away, Dwemer can always nuke that later. And if he does play it right away, we're playing Hive Defender anyway, so probably okay. I'm fighting a sneeze
By
now.
the fires of oblivion.
Alright, I take it back. We might not be playing Hive Defender, because that Dynamo is too spicy.
Kill them all.
You fight like a child.
Make a big crab. Make a big crab. So it is also worth noting, that's another reason to play this deck. Dwarven Dynamo is a very powerful card. Rapid shot again. They're getting it there. So they have 3 rapid shots. Wow.
This might be handy.
Like, I'm not even angry, I'm just impressed. So there's the ally that we were kind of looking for earlier.
You fight like a child.
But I feel like we're gonna end up just still playing Hive
Death
Defender
to the
here.
enemy.
Because we're trying to protect our investment while generating enough pressure to prevent them from stabilizing, right? We don't want them to play Hand of Daggeth or anything like that and think that that's okay, think that that's enough for them to survive. Yeah, this was a much better opener. This is the sort of opener that you kind of want with a deck like this. Last game, you know, we mud crabbed into like double 5th Legions, and we weren't finding stuff like Mechanical Ally, Dwarven Dynamo, the real, like, the reason you run Dwemer, right? Like, Dwemer are underpowered unless you hit some of these really powerful effects. Alright. I can appreciate what my opponent did there.
By the aim.
We actually don't have the one extra damage right now.
I am the emptiness at the
So we're just gonna nuke this and hope that this is still enough pressure. Because now we've split lanes. Dwemer is in the shadow lane. Hopefully that's enough to push. 2 threats field. And if they kill their Mournhold, they give us 1 back. So this looks okay. They may have some fancy smancy outs.
Hold them back, scored.
Right now this looks okay. Alright. And the dagger. So that trades there.
Watch yourself now.
Ward Crafter, so they do not have to give us something back. And they have the guard in the other lane. See? They did, in fact, find some answers. And we whiff! Wow, and we whiff! Alright. I mean, we can still find something like Crushing Blow. We do also have a fair number of threats. We know that it is not a neutral card on top. So it's going to be Divine Fervor, 5th Legion Trainer, Rift Thane, or Crusader's Assault. Those should be the only non-neutral cards that we're running.
By the fires of oblivion.
Oh, excuse me. Dawnbreaker
Time to make more
is an
enemies.
option. All right. Oh yeah, and Hive Defender. Okay, so potentially a problematic turn for us, right? Because we have no way to push through enough damage and no way to kill the queen. So they're gonna gain some health.
Chimera straight at the sky, guide us!
Fear me, mortal!
So all we can do now so we lose this if they have Unstoppable Rage. Unfortunately, here's the thing. There's nothing we can do to play around Unstoppable Rage. So if they have Unstoppable Rage, they gain so much health and so much board advantage, then we just lose, which would be pretty sad. But if they just gain 6 or possibly 8 if they play Tome with the queen, we have outs, right? So that's ultimately... Now they could also have like a mace, right? That could gain them as much as 10. Alright, so here comes the Tome. So they can go to 9, but then they still have to deal with the 10 damage we have on the board. So we have to hope that with their 4 Magicka left over, they just don't have anything else to deal with our board. Oh, alright, well. They're going to double Tome, go to 11, and now we need to top deck 1 damage again. That is not 1 damage. Okay, well. So, in this instance, we have to take the trade and just develop more threats and keep trying to push. So many things we could have top decked there. Hulls, Crushing Blow. Again, Dawnbreaker. Now, they haven't broken any of our runes, so at some point, they might have to just, like, give us ammo anyway. Now, the cool thing about this Dwemer package is you can play a lot. Yeah, there we go. You can play a lot of different versions. You could play this in Spell Sword if you wanted. You could play this in like Mage if you really want lightning bolts for extra reach. The core package being neutral is pretty neat. Like I said, I was playing Crusader because Divine Fervor I think is really good as a backup plan if you don't draw your hulls. But if you wanted to do something a little bit different than this exact Crusader plan, there are options. So anyway, yeah, that's it with the Dwemer Crusader. Again, now that deck codes are a thing, you can look in the description. I'll paste the deck code. Thanks for watching, and until next time, may you walk on warm sands.